Every single main cast member of the Mario series lives double, sometimes triple lives. Bowser is a kidnapper of princesses on Monday, great father to Bowser Jr. on Tuesday, and then drives carts with Peach on Wednesday. It all harkens back to that famous Miyamoto quote, where he explains he sees the Mario cast more as a troupe of actors rather than actual in-universe characters, meaning their roles and personalities can be altered depending on what the games need from them. While this definitely still applies when it comes to things like continuity, I do think this philosophy has weakened in the last, say, 10 years. All Mario characters now have a clear personality that they really don't deviate from too much. And while it may not always resemble what they used to be, their current portrayals are usually pretty consistent. Well, all except one. Wario is a man of so many personas, it's hard to imagine it's all actually the same guy. I mean, several of the character traits he has shown over the plethora of the series he has appeared in directly contradict one another. But let's start simple with probably the depiction you're all most familiar with. Wario in the Mario games. This is basically all the spin-off games, as starting with Mario Kart 64, Wario has become an absolute mainstay of these titles, appearing basically just as much as names like Yoshi or Donkey Kong, despite the mainline Mario-shaped hole in his resume. Super Mario 64 DS is a weird outlier here, obviously, as beyond that one remake, he has never appeared in any 2D or 3D title since Wario Land 2. And while you would think that would as such be the game where Wario got his trademark Portrayal from, that is actually not really the case. In most Mario spin-offs, Wario is portrayed as this self-indulgent, cheating bastard who is not really a villain. He's more so a combination of all kinds of character traits most people would find annoying or irritating. It contrasts him against Mario, who barely has any negative character traits to speak of, especially not in the spin-off games. In some titles, it feels more like Wario's defining feature is actually not his character at all, it's rather his body. His large frame, yet still present strength, make him an easy inclusion whenever heavy characters are required, alongside Bowser of course. That is really where Wario's portrayal as a character ends, at least as far as the Mario spin-offs go. And after all, these are not games that focus on the character's personality to any extent really, the sole exception being some story modes here and there, and those are usually not exactly peak Mario writing. I mean, I think we all consider being greedy a huge part of Wario's character, right? Well, can you name a Mario spin-off that really shows that? Because honestly, I don't think I can. The only game with Mario in the title where Wario is depicted as greedy and driven by wealth is his first appearance, Wario Land 2, 6 golden coins. And even here you can make the argument he is more driven by jealousy over Mario's accomplishments than outright greed, even if that definitely plays a role as well. Now, you would think that seeing as it was his debut performance and his only real appearance in a core Mario title, Wario Land 2 would prove a vital title in how Wario would be portrayed going forward, but honestly, right from the get-go, his depiction in this game was just abandoned. His character design was never this unhinged again. While he has remained a counterpart to Mario obviously, I wouldn't say it was ever this pronounced again, especially in regards to his jealousy of him, and the game also sets up powers and personality traits for Wario that have been MIA ever since. A key part of the game's plot is that Wario has hypnotized everyone in Mario Land into doing his bidding for him, and his talents as a hypnotist are made a big focus of the game's promotional material. We have since not seen this even once. In the final battle, he uses power-ups identical to Mario, which he was also never really allowed to do again, and after being defeated he behaves particularly childish, which is a strong contrast to the pure evil that Bowser is, but I wouldn't say this has really become a core part of his personality. He is vain, unintelligent, and he loves a taunt, sure, but it's not like he is prone to tantrums or something. While Mario Land 2 did as such not really move the needle in regards to how Wario is portrayed, the first Wario Land and the series that spawned from it did that much more so. This is where Wario's portrayal as a greedy, physically strong anti-hero is born, with plenty of the game showing Wario doing heroic deeds, but merely out of a monetary motivation. It also pivots his role in life as something more akin to a treasure hunter, someone who travels the world in search of golden cash. While his love for money has very much bled into every branch Wario has ever appeared in, the same cannot be said for his role as treasure hunter. No Mario game has ever featured as much as a profile mentioning this, and you could say the WarioWare games directly contradict it, by making Wario the CEO of his own video game company. I can't imagine those jobs can really be combined. especially when you keep in mind that another aspect of Wario's personality that is often brought forward is that he is lazy, with depictions that show him lounging on his couch or doing other things that could be described as non-productive. Mind you, this man is the CEO of a video game company and he travels the world looking for treasure. Give him a break. If he is lazy, what is Princess Peach? She spends her entire life chilling in a castle for all we know. And then I haven't even mentioned that Wario Land 2 depicts Wario as a farmer of sorts, complete with a favorite pet hen. This might also be referenced in Mario Kart DS, where one of his vehicles, the Dragonfly, is a tractor, as well as plenty of more recent games that feature alternate costumes for Wario. Many of those include cowboy or rancher-like looks that also bring out the image of someone who likes the farm life. Another element of Wario's personality hailing from the Wario Land series that many will strongly associate with him is his lack of personal hygiene. This was introduced in Wario Land 4, particularly in the Japanese version, as it was then toned down for the Western release. Since then, Nintendo has honestly not really returned to this idea that much. WarioWare had it a lot at the time, particularly in the GBA DS era, and there is his powerful farts in Mario Strikers Charged, but since then this has kind of faded away. The only place within the Mario franchise it is still sometimes seen is in WarioWare's micro games, but even the stories of those games have kinda abandoned it. The only one that hasn't got the memo is Masahiro Sakurai. Wario's portrayal in every Smash Bros. Game since his debut in Brawl has revolved for like 90% around his grossness. Farts, butts, smells, you name it, Wario's got it here. All the way up until Ultimate, even though every other game has kinda ditched this part of his character. I often hear people talk about how characters like Mario, Bowser, Sonic or Samus could really do with an overhaul of their moveset, as it doesn't really accurately portray what these characters are about anymore. But honestly, Wario fits that bill as well, and it isn't really talked about that much. Probably because he has less obvious replacements for his stinky powers. Out of all the many forms of media Wario has appeared in, I would say he has been portrayed the most positively in the WarioWare series, especially the most recent games. Sure, earlier titles showed the lack of hygiene I mentioned, with Touched focusing a lot on his massive cavities, and he's often depicted as a bad boss to his employees, but you also have to keep in mind Wario actually has a friend group in this game, one that likes him so much they overlook all his bad qualities. Look at his depiction in the Mario games and it seems unbelievable that such a wide group of people would take to Wario, with someone like Mona even taking it so far she has a bit of a crush on him, according to several titles. Meanwhile, in the Mario core cast, Nintendo is hesitant to even call Waluigi a friend of his, the more so two guys with shared passions, in their own wording, so the difference there is quite severe. WarioWare has also consistently had a history of ignoring Wario's seemingly canon lack of intelligence whenever it is convenient. I mean, you could say that just like with his laziness, purely the fact that he has seen success with his company plenty of times must be an indication he cannot possibly be a complete dum-dum, as is how he's described in the manuals for Mario 64 DS and Wario World. That's not to say Wario is a completely different character depending on what game you see him in. For example, his vanity is present in every appearance, although it is portrayed differently between games. In WarioWare, we often get depictions of Wario that are quite flattering to his actual physique. In Wario Land, he's more about the self-adornment in terms of statues and other tributes to himself, whereas in the Mario games, it's often more verbal, declaring himself better than anyone else, stronger than anyone else, you name it. But maybe this is a trait that you can kinda expect to show up everywhere, just in different forms. It's like how Bowser is always somewhat antagonistic, even if the amount and the way how is different in each game. And that leads me to another thing about Wario that has consistently appeared in all fragments of the Mario franchise, when, knowing how much he always changed, it really had no right to. From Mario spin-offs to Wario Land to WarioWare to even Smash Bros, all show Wario as someone that loves a big ride. You've got his bike, which originated from WarioWare and then later made appearances in Mario Kart Wii, his Smash Bros moveset and a few cameos in Mario Party, as well as Wario's purple Cadillac-like car, which hails from Wario Land 4, but has also appeared in Mario Kart Double Dash and is referenced here and there throughout the WarioWare series. Unbelievable as it may sound, Wario's love for big, loud vehicles is one of his most canon traits, or at least one of his most consistent. But it definitely doesn't feel like it, does it? But remember this when Wario is finally added to the Mario movie universe as he pulls up in a loud, polluting vehicle in his very first scene. How do you feel about Wario's many portrayals over the years? Share it in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like and subscribing. If you really want to support me, you can now become a channel member to get all kinds of fun perks and help me keep bringing these videos to your doorstep every week. For now, thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of your day.